Now, in the last 12 years, hundreds and thousands of concerned individuals have spent countless hours researching and analysing the official narrative of 9/11. Scores of books have been written, dozens of films and documentaries have been made, and the amount of information available on the internet is extraordinary. Now, much of this information has been meticulously researched, is highly scientific, and adheres to the highest standards of investigative journalism. Some of it is utter nonsense. Unadulterated waffle and mumbo-jumbo which only serves to dilute from the serious analysis which has adhered to the scientific method. Now there is a third, more sinister area, where bogus information is deliberately introduced into the argument in order to deflect from certain areas or to discredit certain lines of research and or researchers. Yes, COINTELPRO does exist in America, and of course not only in America. Okay, now if we were to present all this information to you, ladies and gentlemen, you would be sitting here for the next 12 years. We're serious, but we're not cruel. We are going to focus on one area, one small area, a little spillover here and there, but basically one area, World Trade Center 7. World Trade Center 7 was the third building to collapse neatly down into its own footprint on that day. It was not hit by an aeroplane. It sustained minor damage from the collapse of the South Tower at 9:58 a.m. that morning. Small fires burnt on a few floors during that day. At 5:20 in the afternoon, this 47-story building collapsed straight down in 7 seconds. Precisely 22 minutes after the BBC had announced its collapse.
And where did the BBC get its information from?
Reuters. Now, this was an event completely without precedent. Prior to 9/11, no steel frame building had ever collapsed due to fire. Post 9/11, no steel frame building has collapsed due to fire. We're going to show you something now that I think may be pertinent to you Londoners. And I think as soon as you see the image, you'll recognise it. Totten, Rachel, thank you very much. Okay. Now, I'm sure you do recognise it. This is the Carpetright building in Tottenham on the evening of August the 6th, 2011. Now, this building was completed in the early 1930s. It's a pre-war building. And obviously I don't have to say that those are flames and that is very hot. Okay, Rachel, next. This is the building the following morning. Approximately 7 hours later, you can see that the combustible contents of the building have been completely destroyed by the raging inferno of the night before, but this 70-year-old building has not collapsed. Deformed, yes, but the shell of the building and the outer facade is still standing. This is World Trade Center 7. At 5:20 p.m. on the afternoon of 9/11. Now this building was completed in 1987. It's a modern, steel-framed high-rise, a 14-year-old Class A fireproof structure. I want you to note the raging inferno that's engulfing this building. One of the papers in this country used to run a spot the ball competition. We could run a spot the flame competition. Okay, now you remember the pictures of the Carpetright building taken approximately 7 hours apart. Rachel, next. That's World Trade Center 7. 7 seconds. 7 seconds later. we could run a spot the building competition. Any takers? Thank you, Rachel. Now, from the very outset, the collapse of that building was a cause of concern for onlookers. Very few people, however, both in the US and internationally, were actually aware of its collapse at all. In the week after 9/11, TV viewers in the US and here in the UK were endlessly bombarded with rerun after rerun of the planes slamming into the towers and constant video footage from every conceivable angle of their subsequent destruction. Interestingly, after the first day, the collapse of this building was never shown again. Sir, in the time. Yes, thank you.
Robert Fisk, The Independent.
And honest.
Even I question 9/11, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I would like to know the full story. World Trade Center 7. Why did it fall to the ground so neatly when no aeroplane had hit it? Two prominent American professors of mechanical engineering are now legally challenging the terms of reference of the final report on the grounds that it could be fraudulent or deceptive.
Let me repeat, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Spare me the ravers, spare me the plots. But like everyone else,
I would like to know the full story of 9/11, not least because it was the trigger for this whole lunatic, meretricious war on terror, which has led us to disaster in Afghanistan and Iraq and much of the Middle East. Karl Rove once said, "We're an empire now. We create our own reality." True? At least tell us.
it would stop people from kicking over chairs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fisk. It's an honour, sir. Mr. Fisk does more for humanity before breakfast than I will ever do in a lifetime. And I promise, sir, I will not kick over any chairs.